Hello and welcome for the last round of Anti-Stall Racing. This time we are in Road America. With me, as always, I have Kevin Stam. Hello.
Hey, good evening. Happy to be here. Happy to see these great cars drive around the great track of Road America. I'm excited. How about you?
Yeah, I am also excited, and also this is the first time I am also broadcasting, so be aware that some technical difficulties might arise, but so far Kevin has been teaching me a lot, so I hope everything goes well.
You'll be fine. I mean, a trial by fire, right? That's how we do things. That's how we go. So yeah, today we are on Road America, which we're driving the full course. So it's a bit of a lengthy drive for the drivers today, 6.41 kilometers, which is something in American units, which we'll figure out soon. There's 325 meters of altitude in between, and we are at a nice toasty track temperature of 44 degrees. So I'm sure our drivers will enjoy that. And I just checked real quick. The official touring car TCR record here is a 2-minute 20.9 in the Honda Civic Type R TCR, which we don't have here. But I'm sure we're going to be seeing blazing times here today as well. So the qualifying just started. Drivers are just coming out of the pit lane, getting ready to start their out laps, getting ready to make sure they have some great racing. And yeah, I'm interested in what happens. How are the names here today? Who do we have racing for us here? Go
Well,
through the line.
we have Andy Tedman, Brendan Halkin, Matt Villiers, Matteo Murray, Steve Haywood, Harry Unila, Yoni Niemi, and Sebastian van den Hoven. We have,
All right.
for fighting for the championship here, it's Brendan and Yoni.
Yeah, and
Brad just
I
needs
believe
to keep it to the end of the race and he will win it. While Yoni needs
yeah,
to be extremely lucky here.
I believe what I remember from our race notes from last time is that the gap between Brandon and Joni is almost identical to what it was before the last race. It's a 50-point gap, so Brandon will need to finish both races. That's all he needs to do. He just needs to finish them within the 80% rule. If he does that, he is the 3-time touring car championship champion, which is a unique thing. We've never had a 3-time repeat winner, which is crazy. But still, I mean, Yoni as well. It's been an amazing result. He's coming to the series. He's really come into his own. He's performed amazingly. He's put the fight to Brandon, and I believe if he, I think he came in a little bit late, but if he was there from the beginning and if he had the pace that he has now, perhaps he would have put a big challenge towards Brandon, as they've been exchanging blows all throughout the season. Yeah, we're just watching these drivers go around the track. I'm wondering if we can have a nice track map up on the screen, so we can see where the drivers are.
Exactly, that was one I was looking for.
Oh, we see Matteo going wide already at tricky Canada corner. So yeah, I believe the point difference is right now 51 points, which I believe with all the points available in a single race, I think it's around 70, or in a single race event. It's around 70, so, but for now, that doesn't matter, as we just have Brandon. He's just about to start his lap. There's a little bit of traffic as he comes up towards turn 1, but that's all right. We'll talk you through this lap as he goes around. So braking around 300 meters, turning it in, making sure to use all the track. You see the car in front of him getting out of the way there as he makes sure not to impede him. And here it's like a tricky braking point, probably 100-150 meters in these cars. Turn it in. There's always a little bit of understeer when you enter, and then some oversteer when you exit. Thankfully, with these front-wheel drive cars, well, the oversteer is not that bad, thankfully. Now, with the first of the couple long straights that he has to go through, it's a nice long straight where we're going to be heading into a tight left-hand turn at the bottom of the hill. Prime overtaking spot, which I'm sure with these cars is going to be nice, rolling doors, because it's very easy to go too wide here. Take it as far as you can, make the corner as wide as possible, clip the inside, run wide as you need to, use all the track. And for tricky uphill left-hander, you always have a little bit of car weight shift here. You can see here a major correction of the wheel, use all the track available to turn out, head towards the left, don't clip the grass, turn it in, swing it in, use all the track on the exit once again. Now we head towards a downhill left-hander. He gets it in quite nicely. Ah, beautiful. And as we head underneath the speed full mark, we have the big loop. The which is probably one of the trickiest corners around this track to get right, because it's such a long corner, you can't take it all flat, even in these cars I'm sure, but he's able to keep it nicely in the side. Now over to the King, which is in these cars I believe not flat, what I've heard, but Brandon will sure give results to make sure it is almost flat. Ooh, running very wide but keeping it closed. Now we head towards the next little bit of straight as we head towards the Canada corner. Again, using all of the track to his disposal, running as wide as he can, make sure not to hit that one axe as he goes there. A little bit uphill kink, it looks deceivingly simple here, but it's one of the probably the second hardest corner, and now we have use a late apex here. Make sure you take all the speed you can, get it out onto the straight, and here is probably the longest straight on this track. The long run up towards turn 1. For now, he will be heading towards start finish, and the first time should be coming in soon. I believe Brandon Halcon may have had a... There we go, yeah. Brandon Halcon must have invalidated his lap before, because the first time is not coming in. And our two Finns, Joni Niemi and Harry Junla, coming in with a 2:22.111 and a 2:22 somewhere around the 3 something. But look at that, Steve Hillwood comes in 3 times faster, 2:21.8 flat. But Steve has surely brought his A game as well, or all these drivers are just warming up the tires still. Really wondering what we're going to be seeing from these drivers. So how about we head for a little onboard with Brandon here as he's working his way through the lap.
He's already got the yellow sector though.
Yeah, he didn't. He got a personal best in sector 1, but he did improve his sector 2, which I believe it was broken before. So good on him.
His previous lap wasn't even valid, so
yeah, it still counts his personal best, which is good. Just doesn't have that sector. So I believe we should be good. But look how he touches these corners. He's really trying his best. That was a purple sector, so he's really well on his way to get back there. But a mistake is so easily made here. And since it's such a long track, it's it's 2 minutes. You're not going to get too many quali laps. You're probably going to get like 6 or 7 of them at most. So probably preferred strategy is just fill up fuel, make sure you can do multiple laps here, and then just get around multiple times. Get those tires up to temp, get some nice air into them, and as we see before, tire wear isn't really the biggest problem. But yeah, one thing,
that was super wide there.
yeah. One thing I'm noticing here is that the number 3 in the championship currently, Leon Jenkins, also known as the fan favorite, the one and only Leon Jenkins, is not here today.
No, he said he couldn't appear because he arrived to the US recently and he needs to rest.
Ah, fair. But because that's a shame. He was fighting for 3rd spot, and now with Matteo and Harry right on still, Matteo only 15 points behind, and Harry 18 points behind Leon. He might be able to actually lose his P3. And that's not the only one. Steve Hillwood, 365 points, which is only 30 points behind. If Steve finishes these 2 races in a decent position, he might actually nab the positions here. So still all to fight for, with the last podium position still up for play.
Steve Hillwood just got the pole position.
Actually, look at that.
Taking advantage of the mistakes by Brandon here.
Yeah, Brandon, so far he hasn't set a valid lap, has he?
No, we saw him go super wide on that corner with a lot of runoff there. Wonder if he can make it qualifying. He still has, of course, what is it, about 7 minutes to go. It's enough time to do a lap. Just honestly keep improving, and he seems to be lacking.
We can see the lap times getting faster and faster. I mean, we saw Steve, he came in with a 2:21.8, and Harry and Joni quickly got closer to him, but you know, Steve just keeps improving his laps. We do see Brandon currently popping up with a purple and 2 yellow sectors, so that, you know, still all to play for. We still haven't seen the proper pace of Brandon here yet. And as we've seen before, you don't need all purple sectors to get a pole position. We've seen people with full greens get the fastest lap. So It's not about single sector in here, it's how you put it together on track. So for Hari, he is looking steady, he is looking great.
I mean, finally you got a green sector this time.
I do see Brandon is kind of catching up to Mateo there, the number 43 car. So that will be giving him a nice toe down the start-finish rate, which also might help his last sector. We'll probably be able to see that once he puts in his lap time. And that is a 2:20.9 first person to go into the 320s.
There you go. He made it.
Yeah, there you go. Straight to the top. But, I mean, Steve Hill was also putting in quite a decent lap time. But in the end, is that good enough? Compared to the 2:20.961, I don't think it was. He doesn't improve his previous time. We now see all drivers. They are on track. They're trying to set the best time, and they only have 5 minutes to do it. Because, as you know, in this heat session, the end of qualifying signifies straight up the end of qualifying. And what do I mean by that? Normally, if you have a session, there's a little bit of leeway at the end of qualifying where you're able to finish a lap. In these kind of sessions, nope. End of qualifying is the end, straight towards the race start. Yeah, we did get a couple messages from our race control team. First of all, greetings from the race control. Greetings back. Have a good time in your booth. Hopefully you guys have a quiet time. And besides that, also make sure you guys head on over to our website because we have a new league, the LMP3 and GT4 multi-class league coming up with the newly announced Ligier LMP3. Also, of course, with the GT4 that as you know and love from the, from GT4 series. Also, there will be another season of Touring Car, our 4th season running. So make sure you head out to ntslracing.com or to discord@ntslracing.com to make sure you're able to join them. Yeah, the field is still ridiculously close. I mean, only 2.5 tenths Steve is behind Brandon. I know from last week, the interview, I don't think both the Finnish drivers really enjoyed Road America that much, from what they said.
Well, it's probably not exactly a famous track for touring cars. I don't even know if they run it in real life. I don't really follow the schedule. Possibly because IMSA Power Challenge sometimes goes here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, still, it's to be a great driver, you have to master any type of track, whether it be a very short technical track, or a longer, windy track like this. Still a matter of being the best overall driver. So, of course, with the schedule that we have for season 4, we tried to put in a nicely varied schedule, so there's something for everyone in there. And one of the previous questions we had from people is to add in more of the longer tracks into the Touring Car series. So this season we've tried to do that, and I've quite liked it. We've had some short circuits with the types of like Knock Hill, Roadland, Oran Park, and stuff like that. We've also had the full Donington layout, Virginia, Road America, for example, and also the one, the only Bathurst. So it's a little bit for everyone here.
Oh, yeah. So how does the stream look? Does it look good?
On my end, it looks nice. I'm happy.
That's good to know. So that I can improve in the future times, but as we see, Harry made a mistake. He's now off the track, trying to return to the track there.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully it didn't ruin his car by any means there, because having to restart for a lap now will be quite detrimental. I'm quite sure you're not even able to do it, so. Yes, Sebastian, he's been trying to improve, he's been slowly improving. He's now down to a 220, I believe it's 222, but his last lap unfortunately not improving either, but he is currently in P5, so he still has everything to play for. I believe he gave up on qualifying. He's going to be happy with the P3 that he got. Yoni, I would have expected a bit more from our number 2. I don't want to say number 2 driver because that sounds
no, it's
bad,
number
but,
2 in the championship, second place.
Exactly, the driver that's the second in the championship. That sounds a lot better. But yeah, camera currently on Sebastian van der Heuvel, our Team Sanctuary Racing driver, looking to get in with minimal practice.
He's not in last place, so that's his fear gone. And he still has a second race to improve as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have 50 minutes in the first race to improve, and then race 2, he may as well start from pole if he does well or doesn't do well.
True. Everyone
Depending
here
on how you look at
will it will switch the top 10.
But I believe he'll also have another driver join in the Hyundai, which is Aiden Young. I don't think he'll have enough time for qualifying, but hopefully for him he did a bit of practice and he will be right on track, as I'm sure we've made some exceptions for this event to make sure people are able to join.
Ooh,
That's a big moment for Marek.
that was taking too much of the exit of the corner, stepped on the grass, and instantly spun.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But it's probably happened to all of us, hasn't it? It's such a tricky corner.
And we are done with qualifying.
Yeah, and I believe we should have our lineup on the grid here available right now. So in pole position, we have Brandon Hawkin with a 220.875 for our pole position time. On P2, we have Steve Hilwood from the UK. Our second row, I believe, filled by the Finnish drivers Joni Niemi on P3 and Harry Junila on P4. P5, our Dutch driver Sebastian van den Heuvel, followed by Marek Lilius, who I believe that's a Puerto Rican flag, but I might be mistaken.
Play who? Marek Lilius?
Yeah.
That's Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic. Okay, well, apparently I don't know any of my flags. It doesn't matter. Marek Lilius in P6, Matteo Lemarais in P7, Andy Tapman, who I believe isn't driving today, would be in P8 if he was, and Aiden Young is on P9. So as we're waiting for the drivers to head up on the grid, I just want to have a reminder for our great sponsors, which are Rogue Energy. Make sure if you need some energy drinks or some health supplements, you head over to rogue.enterstarracing.com. Also, make sure you head on over to Abruzzi Racewear if you need racing apparel, need gloves, need some boots. Make sure you head on over. And if you want to get yourself some of that cool Enterstar Racing merch, head on over to tpublic.enterstarracing.com. So yeah, we're just waiting for the drivers to head on up to the grid. And once again, a reminder from our race control concerning the LMP3 GT4
Look
league
at the Waluigi helmets. I mean, two fantastic helmets from Sebastian here as well, and Harry Junila.
Yeah, I believe Sebastian's helmet is a quite direct copy of his head put onto his helmet. It's very shocking if you look at it.
Yeah.
It's quite jarring, but...
Also, I just realized I forgot to add the other cameras, but it's fine.
That's all fair. And I believe we should be getting our lights on right now. That's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights on, 4, 5 lights on. Lights are off, and that might be a jump start from our Joni Niemi in P3. Oh, that may have been a very, very bad moment for our driver. And I believe Race Control is listening. I believe we've had moments before where that happened. If the driver drops all the way to the back, he's able to continue, but I'm not entirely sure. But we are going to have to look what happens. Brandon Hawkins still leads into T1. Steve Hill is still following, and Joni Niemi and Harry Junila still following before. Meanwhile, Matteo is looking to get a good move onto Sebastian. Actually, already has a move on Sebastian. Sebastian trying to get a move onto Matteo. He's quietly following him, as everyone's just trying to catch up to the back. Aiden not having the greatest start. Not entirely sure what's happening there. But we are heading towards turn 1, and we see a move coming from Steve Hillwood. He's pulled alongside. He is quite alongside. He's actually first into the corner. Can he defend this corner from Steve? He's gonna from Brendan. He's gonna have to give him space on the outside, but they're still going too wide as they're heading towards a little uphill kink. This should be Steve's corner by all means. And yes, that is a move done by Steve Hillwood. So Steve heading up into P1 already. Would you be able to put it on the intervals instead of gap? That would be a great thing to be able to see where things are happening. Beautiful already. So yeah, we see Brendan, he's still closely following Steve, and this is a track where it's going to be a lot of slipstreaming, so we're going to be seeing a lot of lead changes onto the straights, I feel like, and into the corners. Yeah, Sebastian still looking to get a move on to Matteo. They have taken our Finnish driver here in Niemi for now. And if we can get some confirmation about from the stewards what happened there, if that was a jump start and if there's any consolations for that, that would be great to be able to see into the race control.
We did
But for
see
now-
him slow down though.
Yes, we did see that. Into kind of the corner so far, we still see Steve leading. He hasn't been able to complete the move, but Sebastian has been. Sebastian must have had a moment coming out of there because he's all the way in the back already.
Yeah, I did hear some noise. Yeah, and he did.
And that is Sebastian van Heuvel backwards, unfortunately. And the front bumper that's completely gone. As you can see, bottom left. Yeah, we did see a move from June in Niemi. He is dropped to the end of the line. And it should now be able to continue driving. But yeah, that is Sebastian van Heuvel out from the first race. And we'll be able to see back what happened through there. But Steve Hillwood currently leading after the first lap. Brandon following. Ariola still in P3. Still P3, up to P3. Marek Leonis up to P4. Matteo up to P5. And Joni into P6. And Aiden, I believe, has moved into the pit lane as well. So not the greatest start for our two new drivers for the series. Aiden Young, of course, and Sebastian, both, returning drivers from Tour Car Series Season 2. Here we can see Brandon. He is charging a first attack. He's really looking how can he get there, but Steve has shown that he has straight line speed to battle here. Now, whether that's been a conscious choice in the setups, maybe sacrificing a little bit of your cornering for better top line speed in these cars. And he's so close. Brandon's really smelling it.
How about we see what happens to Sebastian then?
Yeah, let's go for it. Should be a little bit of time before we see what happened there. So you see Sebastian's trying to go for a move onto... Oh, he just doesn't have the braking. He wasn't able to get it. And that's straight into the barrier. That's unfortunate. He tried to go for a move, but I guess he just kind of misjudged his braking point, and that's just maybe a little bit too inexperienced in this car on this track. Very unfortunate, but meanwhile we have Brandon. He's still hunting down Steve. In the back we see Matteo also trying to hunt down Joni. And Harry is desperately trying to hang on to these guys. Because behind him there's a big gap to Marek. And we can still see Steve defending the inside towards kind of the corner. Still able to defend, and Brandon is so close, he just can't get to the inside. He's going to need one of those insides in the corner to be able to get the move then. Because the inside is so important here with the way these corners go. As I believe, unless you get it on the inside of this.
Oh, you made a mistake.
Oh yeah, that should be the position gone. Yeah, and meanwhile Harry is really moving closer to them as well, so... that's unfortunate. So now Brandon has the inside and he has the overspeed. But look at Steve, he's getting back, he's calling himself back there. That side draft is really strong here. They're gonna have to leave space for each other, but Steve decides to take a little bit of a later apex, which allows Brandon to come out in P1. But we've seen that speed, and now three drivers are all completely close again. Now we can see if Steve actually has that overspeed, or if he has an option to do it. Will we be seeing Steve pulling alongside Brandon into the braking zone, or are we going to see Brandon defending it? Now taking the middle of the track. Steve is going for the move. He tries to outbrake. Does he have nose in between? He does not, so he's not able to make the move. Do you think that was just a failed overtake attempt, or do you think that's just Steve making sure to be in the mirrors of Brandon, making sure to be like, hey, I'm here to take your win?
I think it's just putting pressure. Probably just putting pressure.
I mean, he should. We've seen that Brandon, he sometimes does make mistakes. And of course, he hasn't been challenged in every race, so...
The back here, Joni trying to recover positions after his jump start. We're getting super close now to Marek Glorias.
Has a good line through the kink, it seems like.
These cars on long corners like this with the understeer from the four-wheel drive, it is not easy. but maybe I think it should be done now.
I think he has the speed to take it. He just needs to get a good braking here. And he needs the inside. That's most important. Can he get it? No, he's not there yet. So he's still stuck behind him.
Guess he's waiting for the next opportunity. But he's super
Yeah.
close, just 1/10 behind him. It's like pushing him at this point.
He's actually, yeah, I think he actually did push him. But now he just needs a better exit here. He just needs to work on this exit. If he can get a better one here, then that's his move done. And yeah, that should be done. That's him pulling alongside, and that is done. He has the inside for the next corner as well. Consider his move done and dusted. So yeah, look at the last lap. I mean, Brandon was 9/10 faster than Steve. That lap. I wonder if it's just Steve making a couple of mistakes, probably mad at himself that he couldn't get the move done earlier. Yeah, Gap already reaching a second here, so unfortunately he might need to start looking backwards more than forwards. See what he can do against Harry Unila, who's been able to keep up with him quite well. He's constantly just been there in the back, making sure to show his face and waiting to pounce on the opportunity he gets.
The track isn't that hot either. I mean, 47 degrees. Usually Road America is a hot track, but with these conditions, it should be a bit tricky. Not as much. Ooh, it goes off track. Like, you can see some of the issues when you try to do some corners, you don't have enough grip, or it gets too slippery, especially on the fast corners, and you just lose a lot of grip. As we saw, Steve just couldn't really keep it together.
Yeah, I mean, with all these long corners, these cars with their front, there's always been a front limited track because you really need the cornering for this. Like, there's no really any very slow corners where you need like the out of corner acceleration.
Oh, again, he went off track.
Can he get it back? He is able to get it back, thankfully. So he hasn't lost it yet. But as I was trying to say, like normally with the rear-wheel drive cars, you don't need a lot of like rear end grip on here because there's not a lot of like straight up acceleration zones. It's a lot of cornering. You're putting a lot of load on the front left tire on most of these corners. So, I mean, especially with these front-wheel drive cars, you're going to be even putting more load on those front tires. So they're quickly going to heat up, especially with 40-something track temp. Which I guess is both a blessing and a curse. First laps are going to feel a lot better than they do on most tracks, but I believe they're quickly able to turn into bubblegum and be ready to be thrown in the bin. I'm wondering what Harry's going to be able to do. I mean, he's still keeping up with Steve. I think Brandon is kind of checked out in the front there.
I thought the distance between Marek and Uni was also getting bigger, but actually it got smaller.
Yeah, and I believe as it stands in this race, Brandon finishing first, I think he will be very close or even will be able to win the title in this race already.
Yeah, well,
Finishing first. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of math here.
Uni went to the pits. Was it a disconnection? What happened?
That's a very good point. If that's the case, then Brandon has indeed won the race, if that's the case.
Apparently,
because, we're probably going to need confirmation from race control on that one. Oh,
Steve, please keep it together the track.
Steve's really getting under the pressure here from Harry.
He is really taking every pinch of the corner, but it's a detriment for him because he keeps hitting the grass. I do wonder though if it's his setup was really good at the start of the race, but now it seems to be losing a lot. Maybe his setup, maybe he just didn't learn how to control the track temperature. For example, this one we see him going off a lot of times. This time he keeps it together. Meanwhile, just Brandon cruising in ahead. Not too distant as we used to see, but still a marginal gap.
Yeah, I think Brendan is kind of checked out. Unless he makes a mistake, I think he's pretty on that part. Pretty done. But yeah, for the P2 battle, everything's still on. I mean, there's still probably 2 laps to go, maybe even 3, depending on how it goes. But yeah, it's Harry is really putting the pressure there on Steve. And I do believe Yoni has officially left this race. Oh, he got disqualified for some reason. That is not something we expected. Maybe something went wrong with clearing his black flags after the disqualification, after the jump start, but...
If someone didn't clear the black flags as they should, that's a weird mistake.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Where thankfully it probably wouldn't affect the results of this race for Brandon winning, because it will require a monumental effort for Yoni to have won that over Brandon. I mean, if he finished, that probably would have been done anyways, but... Yeah, it seems race control ran into a bug, but it's unfortunate. But that does mean, I'm assuming he will be still rewarded points for race 1 in the finishing position. But I do believe that's pretty much Brandon being crowned the winner of season 4. Or spending any major things, but for now we're just trying to see if Harry can keep up with Brandon, with Steve here. So I think most people behind have sort of checked out at this point.
So, even though this is the last round, what do you think of this season, the TCR series in general?
Even though I don't drive them, I enjoy the series. I mean, they're always really fun to watch. There are usually quite a few close battles going on, and these cars are really able to go side by side through most corners. Of course, some of the tracks have very windy, tight corners, which makes it kind of hard. But you know, think about Chicago Street Circuit or Zolder, for example, last week, or even here at the start of the race. People were able to go too wide through most of the corners, and that's in the end what you want to see as racing car drivers, right?
True.
As racing car fans. So I've enjoyed them, and I believe our next season will be interesting as well with some of the tracks that we've chosen. So if we look at next season, just a little peek ahead while these drivers are probably heading on to their white flag lap, with Brandon still in P1 with a significant lead over Steve, and also a pretty big gap between all the drivers. Next season we'll be going to Oulton Park Circuit, which is of course a staple in British racing, so can't miss that on the calendar. Also going to be heading overseas to the South American continent. We'll be heading to Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, which is to Lagos, as most people know it. And we'll be heading back across the sea towards Austria to the Red Bull Ring. Then, you know, since we don't care about fuel here, since, you know, it's a sim, we'll be heading to Circuit Solar in Belgium. Then after a break week, we'll be heading over to Canada for Circuit Jules Villeneuve. Afterwards, we'll be heading to Charlotte, then to Suzuka, and we'll be finishing the season in Summit Point Raceway. So I believe that selection has quite a few things to make things interesting. I mean, we have traditional circuit, we have more touring car type circuits, we have a road crying out loud. It's should be interesting.
Very varied, yeah.
I believe the only thing we don't have next season is a street circuit.
Yeah, we have used a lot of them on this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to call Jules Villeneuve a street circuit because it's not a street circuit.
It's not. It's as much as the Saudi Arabia, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least it's not purpose built for F1, but you know, we're not like a purpose built street circuit like Jeddah street circuit, for example, is, or Saudi Arabia once. But
yeah, Miami.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brian Hawking already crossing the last corners here to win the Heat 1 and even the championship here.
Yep, and they're just heading through the last corner onto the straight, and that's probably going to feel quite good for him knowing that he has won his third consecutive season in the Touring Car Series. And that's going to be the question for next season. Is anyone going to be able to dethrone our three-time series champion Brandon Hawkin? Probably going to carry over the number one car until the next season. Steve Hillwood finishing in P2 with a personal best lap time of 2:22.1. Howard Julian finishing P3. Marek Leolias almost finishing right now as well in P4. Probably his best finish so far as well. And Matteo Lemare. It's probably going to be a tiny bit of wait as he gets up the hill towards that finish. And on to the 5th spot. And the only driver we're still waiting for right now is Sebastian Van Heuvel, who has just gone, is actually heading towards the big loop and the kink. So let's drive on board with him as we check how he does. Probably not his happiest result so far, but it's you know, sometimes you can't win all of them, you know, unless you're Brandon, in which case you win most of them. Yeah, Sebastian just heading through the kink, going towards Canada corner.
It said right here that he crashed at this point. Now I'm super curious to see what happened.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's just little.
Yeah, there's no crash there.
He stopped. Okay, that's what it meant with crashing. It just stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just trying to get a nice track map of road marker here so we can have the nice corners here as well. So we should have the results from race 1 ready, which I believe our good broadcaster friend should be able to be throwing up on the screen.
Except it isn't. There you go.
There we go. Our first heat results with Brandon Hawkin winning 35 points. These are of course provisional because there might be some points that we need to be shown. Steve Hillwood in P2. Harry Unila in P3, Marek Leolis in P4, Matteo Lemare in P5, Sebastian Van Heuvel finishing a lap behind but in P6. Almost a lap behind actually. Jon Niemi finishing in P7. Well, finishing, unfortunately getting disqualified, so unfortunate. And Aiden, we apparently had a wheel disconnect and had to stop at the first lap, finishing in P8. So yeah, while we have you guys here, while we're waiting for our second heat to start, I want to draw your attention real quickly to our website, entosalracing.com. Make sure you head over there and make sure you check out our Sports Car Series, which is a new series that we're going to be hosting to replace our IMSA series. It will be featuring LMP3s, the new car by iRacing, the Ligier LMP3, and of course all GT4 cars. So make sure you head over there and make sure you check that one out. And also make sure you check out our 4th season of the Touring Car Series. Sign-ups are now open. Sports Car Series is only €5 for an entire season. The races are 45 minutes long, and the qualifying is open and split between classes. And then we have, of course, the Touring Car Series, where the format is quite the same as we have now. 2 50-minute races, open qualifying, and a €7.50 entry fee. And prizes for the top 7 drivers. Top 10 drivers, actually, sorry. It's hovering over the wrong season. Yeah, we're just checking the warm-up, seeing drivers going around, just checking the last things, making any set of changes they need to. And in general, just getting ready and just working on their last-minute changes. Of course, some drivers also using these to what you call it, just have a little trailer break.
Okay.
Or just going side by side through corners. That's also a thing you can do. But yeah, with an extra 50 minutes of laps under his belt, do you think Seb is going to be able to keep on to his top position for a while?
He wasn't lapped, so that's an improvement.
Yeah, I mean he did have a crash and he did have to pit, so in the end it's I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but
We'll see. Now he has more chance to stay ahead. Maybe not finishing first, but again, we've seen a lot of chaos happen on laps 1 of Heat 2. So we'll see. This is the grid for our last round here on Anti-Stall Racing. Andy Tetman is not in first position, that's an error. Eddie Young does start in first place, Johnny Yemi in second place, Sebastian in third place, Matteo Lemray in fourth place, Marek Lilius in fifth place, Harry Rulina in sixth place, Steve Haywood in seventh place, and Brandon Hawking in eighth place.
yeah, we can see the drivers getting ready. They're blinking their lights. They're getting ready to race, and I believe everyone should be on the grid again for this race, except for, of course, Andy Chapman, who is actually the race control, but he seems to not be able to know how to join sessions. It shows. Oh, look at that. I flame Andy and I immediately joke at myself.
Okay, the start from Matteo, but he seems to be closing a lot, but he keeps it on second now. He got up by 2 positions. As we see more on the grid, just doing... let's just say Brandon Hawkins just getting through 2 cars already. Super late braking here to try and overtake Steve Haywood. And everyone gets on off the line.
We just seen this in between Sebastian and I believe Aiden Young, who didn't have the greatest start. Unfortunate, but I think that should be fine.
But yeah, Seb lost all the positions. Now he's in 7th place. But that's not...
Race long enough. Meanwhile, Yoni had a great start, and he's able to use that advantage to just get a nice little lead while everyone behind him fight. So Aiden trying to keep it around the outside. A little bit of bump, a little bit of things, but all still fair games. Switching sides, look at that. Now this should give Aiden the inside, but he's not side by side enough yet. So, ooh, very wide corner there from Haru Yunila. Very tight as well, being able to rejoin just before Aiden closes that gap. And this is going to be a very tight run up to the corner, up to the hurry downs corner. As they're getting through the carousel. And we see 2 drivers going side by side, which are 2 drivers, Aiden Young and Sebastian van der Heuvel. Aiden not having the greatest corner before and falling back a couple of positions, but still able to keep this. And they're heading towards the kink. Are they going to be any heroes? Does not seem like it, and that's a very big gap forming already between Aiden and the rest of the pack. But a move, Matteo losing a position so far to Haru Yunila, and now also under pressure from Brandon. Brandon also passing on the outside. Ooh. Breaking in. Ooh, that's very close. That's 3 cars into 1, and that is Matteo going a little bit wide and getting overtaken by Steve as well. And that was so very close to danger. Now going through Chandler Valley up to the Bill Mitchell bend. Well, it's a little bit of contact from Matteo onto the back of Aiden. And that's a very big bonk from Sebastian into Matteo. Probably Matteo trying to brake a little bit early for the corner to get a better exit, but that kind of backfired with the crowd behind him. And that seems Yoni is completely checked out at the front of the field. 3-second lead from the first lap. That's it's going to be a chore for not a chore, but like a real task for Brandon to be able to get there and to get towards Yoni.
He probably can, but look, he's already in 2nd place on a single lap. So that's a really good overtaking he did. Even Steve is still struggling behind Harry. And previous race he was ahead of Harry. Yeah.
I mean, we saw last race how much trouble Harry had to overtake Steve, and now it might be the other way around. But Steve has shown that he has a very fast car in the straight line, so that might help him. Meanwhile, Sebastian is looking to get an overtake done onto Matteo. He is still behind going towards the corner, and he's actually losing a bit of time, so he might have some top line damage, which is really going to hurt him here as he's getting overtaken by Marek Lilius into the corner. Marek on the outside, Seb running it wide. A little bit of bump and run but that is Seb living for another day.
Aiden are already going outside the track again. And we see Steve Hayward approaching Harry. Look at that. He's still really good at the first laps, Steve Hayward, but he does seem to struggle later on. He will probably overtake Harry soon enough, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of work. He's going to need a good exit onto one of the straights because he'll be shown his car is a rocket ship on the straights, but who knows? Maybe Harry adjusted his car a little bit more straight line speed. But we can see here that that's actually not the case. Steve is actually rapid on those straights. Look at that. And
Well, they on the track.
both drivers just mowing the lawn. Same with Aiden there in the back. Those are not the lines you usually want to be taking. But that's a very interesting line both drivers took there. But there it goes. Matteo is now on the back of Aiden. Is anything going to happen behind? Matteo actually overtook Aiden.
They both went off track.
Off track, and that's Sebastian as well. So there must have been contact between the two drivers. Let's head back over to Steve, who's looking to get a move on to Harry. He is working on that. He is looking to get that done. He's on the tail, and he has a long straight to fight him in here. And he has shown that he has a rocket ship of car on the straight. So is he able to move anywhere? Harry is defending the inside of the corner. He's really working on that. And look at the fastest lap from Brandon. 2:21.4. 5 tenths faster than Yoni. Here we see Steve on the outside of Harry. Keeps on the outside. Harry is leaving enough space, and that is a move done for Steve.
Both Seb and Aiden jumped to the pits. So I guess they both got damage from that.
We already saw that Seb had damage from a previous incident, from a couple, you know.
From hitting the back of Matteo.
No, from hitting the back of Aiden at the start, and then hitting the back of Matteo later. And that is a very broken front. So maybe we are able to see what happened back there. That is the entry of the pit lane. Yeah, that is not the end of. That is not the way you usually want to enter a pit lane.
But this was a previous incident. No.
That is still the same one.
Yeah, it's this one. Sorry.
So both drivers going into the corner, and that's Aiden crashing.
It's all 4 cars too.
Yeah, no, I think that was just Matteo going a little bit slow, Aiden having a very bad corner going on the outside and sliding, and that's a couple cars trying to take advantage of that. Very unfortunate, but it's sometimes that's how racing works. But yeah, in the front we still have Harry. He is still looking to get back at Steve. He may have, I don't want to say let him by, but he may have facilitated an overtake earlier by not defending as hard as he should. But that still doesn't mean it's over. But look at his speed on the straight though. Harry just has such great straight line speed.
You can see the speed too. Yeah, only Matteo is somehow faster than everyone. I think everyone here is just faster because of the Sipson behind. It's just
but Steve is just so much faster.
Yeah, that's what surprises me as well.
Yeah, he just sets cars as a rocket ship.
It's actually, there was a way to see the speeds of the drivers, wasn't there? And I clicked it before. Why did I forget? It's there you go, that one.
There we go. Yeah, I'm sure if you look at the sectors, that any sector with straight in it, Harry, Steve is gonna look very well. May not be as quick in the corners, but
so we see here, at least at the end of the straight is already at 210, 220, 256. Yeah, it's about the same. Even Harry just got the 257 with the slipstream too. It's interesting to see, like, how can Steve get so fast on the straight?
yeah, we did see an incident involving number 43, which is Matteo Lamore, and number 9, which I believe may have been Sebastian van der Heuvel.
It's Aiden and Matteo.
Aiden and Matteo, yes. No further investigation for the incident between the two drivers.
Wait, did I just see that correctly as well?
It looked like Steve was going quite sideways in that corner.
Yeah, but no, it's the other way around. It's Brad that's going quicker than Brandon.
We are seeing a fight in the back with Marek and Matteo. They are quite close to each other, and we see Marek really looking to get a move on Matteo. Nice onboard from the point of view of Marek, who has missed a couple of races, but he has been working on it. He has been trying to get better.
Ooh, super close in the back of him.
Yeah, he probably had a really good exit there, so that might be a good move for Marek. He is gaining. But we do see Matteo. He is defending the inside corner, so he's going to have to deal with a driver on his outside. But you can see as soon as he got out of the slipstream, all his progress almost stopped.
You do see the right of Barek is damaged though. It's a bit too much on the inside.
Yep, Matteo going a bit wide in the corner, but not wide enough that Marek can put his nose in between it. So yeah, but meanwhile, also looking in the front, it's been a couple of minutes, and Brandon has just been bumping out those lap times. He's on the back of Yoni. He is only 6 tenths behind, and we know getting there is one thing, but actually overtaking, that's the second one. Brandon really looking for that double win today. You can see in the sectors as well, Yoni is just losing time in sectors, which is really hurting him. Actually losing to P3 as well, if you look at it. Yeah, with about 2 laps to go, do you think Brandon is going to be able to put a move on Yoni, or is Yoni going to defend first life there?
He definitely can. We've seen how fast Brandon is. Even though Yoni is usually a fast driver, I think there's something special about Brandon on his touring cars, that he's just really good at it, and no one can seems to be touching him in race play, especially.
Yeah, I really wonder if his skills would transfer to other types of cars as well.
Yeah.
Would be interesting to see how he does in the rear-wheel drive cars.
Maybe if he joins our GT4 series with the LMP3s, he could probably do really well.
We've tried convincing him, but so far he just likes his front-wheel drives. He's that type of guy for some weird reason.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at that car. That car is a rocket ship as well. And that should actually already be a move into turn 1. Putting on side, just look at that speed. 8 tenths of a second in one lap, 2:21.1, and that's the inside for Brandon, and that is the position almost for Brandon. Still hanging it on around the outside. You know, the outside line getting a better cornering here, but I believe here he's going to have to concede. Unless he's got such a good exit that he can run here. But look at that. He's just gaining. The first part of the corner actually was just extending that gap, which means he is running lower downforce. But now with the slipstream, can you only go for a move? Goes on the outside, outbrakes him. Is he able to go around the outside? No, because he just kind of misses the corner. Yeah, of course. Breaking. He gambled, he filled, he tried to go for a nice move there, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him. But all the way back there in P6, we see Marek and Matteo back at it. And that's a good run from Marek up into the corner here, but is he able to keep it here? Matteo kind of outbraking himself. No, yes, no. Still able to survive, but... Oh, that was a tough defense from Matteo.
When that happens, Matteo is always going to defend the inside.
Yeah, but around here, he just parked it there on the middle of the track. We've seen that happen before. We've seen that go wrong before as well. But
Of course, you can still overtake on the outside, but even though it might be a bit dangerous, because the car ahead of you might miss out the corner, like we see here. Of course, Mateo's still gonna keep it on the inside. You just need to be prepared to do a different type of accelerating on the outside, but you can still do it. You can still overtake on the outside. It's just a matter of knowing exactly the point where you can then switch around to the other line before Mateo or this guy, in this case Mateo, can get the move back to the racing line. Let's see.
It's a good run here. Let's see. He's not getting squeezed yet, so this is good. Mateo on the inside for Canada corner.
He should be doing it on the outside. Come on, and he breaks it too soon.
Yeah, but switch back here. Look at that. Look at that. Mateo just ran very wide. And that's
oh
no. Oh, and that is the race done for our contender for 5th place, Marek Liolius, and I'm pretty sure that's something our race control is going to be looking at. And I'm sure we can take a look at that as well, because that's very unfortunate. I'm not sure if that's just both cars not following. Quite hard to see from this angle. So I'm leaning towards Mateo here, but because I mean there's not many places. That's unfortunately that's probably on to Mateo.
Yeah, there was.
There's nothing much more Mara could have done there except taking a very sharp corner, but that's unfortunate, leaving not very much margin for error and just being maybe a little bit too greedy. I mean, I understand wanting to squeeze a driver for a corner, but that's not really a corner where you need to squeeze someone for something.
Steve's super late there. Went out, and now he's again in danger from Harry. This is the last lap though. Can Harry still push on? And can Steve make it to the track? Because we've seen him do little mistakes, even if there isn't really much pressure on him. But yeah, according to the incident, it's definitely on Mateo's fault. He didn't need to even move too much on a straight, you know. It was Marek tried to race him fair, and doing the proper overtakes, but I guess Mateo just wasn't having it. They are both on the track. Oh no! Actually, Harry did go out.
Yeah, you can see Harry's really trying to get it all there to make sure he can do it, but it's very tight. He's really giving it his all.
As we see, Brandon crossing the last corner and onto the finish line, and he wins another race.
Yeah, double whammy for the night. It's crazy.
And another podium as well for Steve Haywood.
Yeah, I believe that is a 10-second penalty as well for the number 43 for the incident between Mateo and Marek Liolius. So that's a 10-second penalty for Mateo Lemare for not leaving racing room. So very unfortunate. But at the meantime, congratulations to Brandon Hawkin, our 2-time race winner for the evening and our 3-time series champion. So major congratulations to him. But also to Joni Nemi for finishing P2 this race. Steve Hillwood for a double. Is it a double P3 or did he get P2 last race? I think he got P2 in Heat 1, didn't he? But anyway,
Steve did. Yeah, Steve did place himself in second.
Yeah, so a double podium for Steve Hillwood, which is probably also a result he's going to be very happy with. Ari Junla finishing P4 this race, Mateo finishing P5 with a 10-second penalty, and Marek finishing P6 with our 2 DNFs this race, Aiden Young and Sebastian van den Heuvel. So as you give us a second here, we're just going to check if we can get anyone into the booth. All right, so yeah, we just want to give you guys a quick reminder again about our series as we watch Marek Liolius finish his last race of this season. So make sure you check out our next season Touring Car Series, Season 4, which is live for sign-ups on the website. Also, we have a GT4 and LMP3 series coming up, our Sports Car Series as well. Sign up at €5. You're going to be able to do 8 races in the LMP3 or GT4, which are 45 minutes races, and they should be going, should be pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I believe those are the results. We got Brandon Hawkin in P1, Steve Hillwood in P2, Harry Unila in P3, Mark Leolis in P4, Matteo Lemeray in P5 with a 10-second penalty, still keeping him P5. Sebastian van der Heuvel with a DNF in, that's Heat 1, Paolo.
Sorry, now that you said.
I
Yes,
was wondering, I was like, wait, that doesn't seem correct.
there you go.
There we go. These are the correct ones. So we got Brandon Hawkin in P1 as the winner of both races tonight. Jon Niemi in P2, Steve Hillwood in P3, Harry Unila in P4, Matteo Lemeray in P5 with a 10-second time penalty, keeping him P5 for today. Mark Leonis finishing in P6. Aiden Young, Sebastian, both DNFing, and Andy do not start as he is our race director. So yeah, I believe that was our race for today. I did do a small check, but I couldn't find any of the what you call it? I couldn't find any of the interviewees ready yet, but we might see them show up soon. But yeah, I'm that was a good season. Of course, not all the races were as filled as we probably wanted them to be, but it was good. It was exciting. It was good to see the people fighting, doing their things, and I was happy. Were you happy, Paolo?
Yes, it was a fantastic season. Of course, it was easy-ish for Brandon. There were some difficulties there, here and there for him. So Yoni especially did put a really nice fight with him. But overall, it was some exciting battles even for the last podium position.
Yeah, and I did find someone here in the interview room, which is no other than our 3-time champion of the series and our 2-time race winner of the evening. Good evening, Brandon.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening. So that's another notch on your bet belt there. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, feeling good, man. Man, that was some really great racing there in both races. There was Steve and Yoni and Harry and everybody. Yeah, that was a really good time. So yeah, great job from them. And yeah, it feels great to be champion. You know, had a really great season and had lots of competition. So it was it was definitely hard fought throughout the whole thing. And yeah, it was just some really good stuff between everybody.
Yeah, I mean it was exciting to see, and I believe we've also got our resident driver here, Steve Hillwood, in the channel as well. So good evening, Steve.
Right, guys, how are we?
We're doing pretty good. Even better after watching you guys race. So
Yeah.
since we got both you and Brandon here, race 1 we saw a bit of I think. Oh, sorry, it was a race 2 that you guys were fighting. I mix everything up now.
I think it was both. I think I got ahead of him in the race 1 for a couple of laps, and then I started to make some stupid errors, and he just got in front of me, and then it's always difficult to catch Brandon when he gets in front of you. So then race 2, we were having quite a good battle there from 8th and 9th with some of the sort of slower guys, which is, you know, always makes it a little bit more fun when you've got a few people to overtake. But yeah, it was a good battle. It's one of my good circuits, so yeah, I was happy with my pace. I've had 2 weeks out, so glad to be back. And yeah, congrats to Brandon 3 times. That's we need to do something about it, don't we?
I mean, people have tried. Brandon himself has tried, but it's somehow it just always ends up at the top there. So yeah, I mean, we saw in race 2, Brandon. You got through the field relatively cleanly after the first lap, and then it was catching up to P1, and you managed to catch up and overtake, and from there it was I don't say completely smooth sailings, but it was quite convincing. You managed to drive away after your qualifying not being the greatest.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, yeah. So in the second race there, got there was there was battling going on throughout the pack, and just going into the kink, there were two cars side by side, and I saw Steve was directly behind them. I got a little bit tight coming out of the carousel, which I think actually helped me a bit, because the two cars were a little bit slower going through the kink, and I had just a huge run coming out of there, and I was able to make it 3 wide there on the inside, and get around. And I think if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have been able to catch Yoni, because he picked up the pace a lot since practice, and yeah, it's I'm just trying to chip away at his lead there, and then last couple laps we had a really nice battle there. He left lots of room. It was really great racing, and coming into the downhill, I just braked as late as I could, and Yoni I think braked a little bit later, and I was able to scoot by on the inside. But man, that was a lot of fun, and of course race 1 had lots of side by side there with Steve. That was a lot of fun. So just really great stuff all around, and can't wait for next season. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean, same here. So we've seen quite a great season so far. 3 great seasons actually so far, and I'm excited to see you guys in season 4. So are we going to be able to see both of you return for the next season?
Oh, definitely for me. Yes.
Yeah, of course. It's kind of like it's staple race now, isn't it? It's kind of ASR is quite well known for its TCR. We just need to get a strong field that can stick with it. It's always the same through iRacing leagues, but we've got a core group of really good racers. It's respectful, and it's fun. It is really good fun. So I'm looking forward to next year. A bit more practice. I've got better over the seasons, which is good, which I think shows a lot for the league. And you pick up off of people like Brandon and the good drivers. So those that are listening in or looking to join leagues, it really is a good league to get your teeth into and progress through your sort of experience.
Yeah, I mean, you should have seen Steve when he got in there. He was nothing but a rookie, and look at him now.
Yeah, no, it's because I've got a secret driver. I don't really drive. I just come on the microphone. No, it is good. It's amazing how much league racing does improve because officials is so unpredictable. But in leagues, it brings your racing on so much. It really does. So yeah, it's great to be racing amongst people like Yoni, Harry, and some of the ones that have come and gone. But definitely Brandon. You pick up so much sitting in his wake that it's helped me no end. So hopefully next season it'll be a bit closer. I'm getting there. I'm getting to tenths of seconds away compared to seconds away as I was. So yeah, good. Looking forward to it.
I mean, those are the improvements we're looking for, right? So for anyone who is interested in joining our 4th season of the Touring Car Series, which will be starting on, and I should have prepared this before I started speaking, but I'm just going to keep talking until I found what I am looking for, which should be fine. It will be starting on the 20th of June. So in only 14 days, 2 weeks, we'll be starting our Touring Car Season 4. So make sure you sign up on the website. That's antistarracing.com. Also remember, there is a GT4 and LMP3 league starting as well, which will be starting 2 days afterwards on the 22nd of June. So in a little bit more than 2 weeks. Which of course features the LMP3 and GT4, our sports car series. But yeah, for now, I want to thank Brandon and Steve for being here. Another major congratulations for Brandon, our 3-time Touring Car Series champion. So major hands up and hands down for that one. Congratulations. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for giving us an awesome season. And I hope to see you guys back in 2 weeks.
Yep, no worries, guys. Take care, and we'll see you on the track soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for all you do. Everybody, like on the broadcast, of course, running the league, and everybody who shows up week in and week out. It's a really great race with you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Right, beautiful. And while we're at it, I also want to thank our race control team, specifically Andy, our resident duck. I will hurt you if you keep throwing the duck. But yeah, our resident duck enthusiast, it seems like. Thank you for being the race director for this season. We hope to see you back for next season as well as our race director. Tough but fair, we say. We hope.
That's the plan, and I'll be driving in the sports car series as well. So if you're in a GT, I'll be hitting you off.
You'll certainly need to duck for that one then, won't you?
We see what you did there.
Right, he's banned. Let me get Steve out.
He's gone. And besides that, I also want to thank my trusty partner in crime in the broadcasting booth, Paolo. Congratulations, you got through your first broadcast. How are you feeling, buddy?
I think there could be improvements.
I mean, it's a continuous process, man. Don't worry about it. You did good. I've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I'm going to leave the last words to you. Your honor.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, and we'll see you then in 2 weeks. No, actually, we do still have a race on Thursday. Our more of a test session that we will do with the GT4s and LMP3s. So, stick out on Discord, and we'll have some fun there with everyone.
Yep, beautiful. Looking forward to it.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you later, everyone.
Free, worth saying. It's a free race. It's not something you have to pay for.
I didn't say that? Yes, it is free, so everyone who has a password can come in. Invite everyone you want. Let's have fun. Alright, goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't have the words to tell